Hi friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany. On this channel, we talk about deconstructing from toxic religion, and we also shine a light on problematic Christian influencers, especially if they are exploiting their children on social media. So if any of that resonates with you, please like this video, share with a friend, and always be sure to subscribe. If you want to receive videos 12 to 24 hours early, you can become a member or a patron. Everything is in the description box below. And if you just want to say thank you and financially support my channel, you can also just buy me a coffee. That is very much appreciated as well. Okay, I'm excited to get into these videos because we're just snarking so hard, dude. This is the second video to the series of snarking on Paul and Morgan while he is going on his road to pro journey. We're all vulnerable, blah, 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 whatever family vlogging nonsense. So their second video is entitled, "How's Morgan Really Feeling About Paul Going Pro in Pickleball?" I'm going to put it on 1.25 speed so none of us die. But this is all that they talk about, so it is a sitting, whatever. It's not a vlog of their family, so that's good. And we've talked about all of that before. So if you are new here and or you don't necessarily know what we're talking about, I would definitely go watch the first video to this. It's going to be the one right before this one. I am just boom, boom, boom. I'm just going to upload them as soon as possible. So let's get into this stupid video. And if there are random cuts in this, it's only because I'm cutting out things that are dumb and that we're not snarking on. So here we go. Okay, and I'm gonna read you the description real fast. How's Morgan really feeling about Paul going pro in pickleball? We're a month into Paul's road to pro, and we wanted to have a candid conversation since this is such a significant life pursuit where Morgan can get real about concerns, excitement, fear, and struggles. Probably a really good idea to do that on camera and not like a conversation with your husband. That's so stupid. Trying to go pro in any sport is very demanding. Did we realize what we were getting ourselves into? Is Morgan regretting giving Paul the thumbs up? Yes, she is. Okay, here we go.
Let's just get even more real. Like, let's remove that Band-Aid.
It wasn't even like I was jealous that he was out playing pickleball. It was that there was some girls there.
All right, vlog. We're back with a topic that, Morgan, why do I feel like we push go live or start a video and we haven't really talked that much about it between ourselves? And it's like the conversation happens in front of our audience. Is that a good thing?
Probably not.
All right, with that said, so Morgan, how are you really feeling? No, like seriously, this is no small thing in our lives, in both of our. I mean, it affects everyone. It affects everyone. So I thought we could talk about how you're really doing and how you're really feeling. Who knows what's going to happen in this video? Because again, it's a month and a half in. Do you regret? Are you having regrets? Are you having doubts? I want to get into that.
I was the one who told Paul to go pro. To attempt to go pro in pickleball. Really, if anyone's to blame, it's me.
Honestly, and I'm being completely honest, that really is a comforting thing that you were the one to bring it up, because man, like, so many couples are not in this situation that we're in. We have friends and it's just not the case for them, that I can go back to like, Morgan was the one who brought this up rather than I'm the one who pushed Morgan to let me do this. And right. So anytime there's a hiccup, challenge, obstacle that I wasn't expecting, my mind would be going back there.
Our lives were already kind of built for something like, hello?
Intruder, home intruder, home intruder.
Live? No, it's not live.
Morgan's dear mother, Tina. Do we want to keep going? Is it too much pressure to have an audience?
I'm fine to keep going. I don't care.
All right, let's just, Tina, get on your phone and get distracted.
Yeah, our lives were kind of made for this anyways.
Something out of the box.
Yeah, because of just our already like schedules and just being self-employed, doing YouTube for the past 8 years. We have the flexibility of Paul being able to wake up earlier and go out and, drill for several hours, and we're in the middle of the day be able to do something and then work a little later into the night or whatever. So,
well, I have actually, Morgan, a couple notes of like harder getting a little more like raw, harder questions.
Okay.
One of them being the jealousy factor, because to be completely honest, and you brought this up, Morgan. You brought this up a few days ago. You said you were just in a moment of realness. You said one of the things you mentioned was you're out playing pickleball and I'm at home changing diapers. And to piggyback off that, let's just get even more real. Like, let's remove that Band-Aid. I want to hear you talk on the jealousy, if you will, jealousy factor, which I think is not uncommon, but also this just popped into my head a minute ago.
I'm scared.
The comments that I'm seeing now among our haters and trolls of Paul is not working to provide for his family.
Dude, just because somebody disagrees with you doesn't mean they're a hater or a troll. Okay, let's just make that very clear. But the video prior to this, I did state that I felt a little sad and a little bad for Morgan simply because he is out living his dream of being a professional pickleball player, and she is at home with the children all day long, and he was able, I mean, the only time that she had left the house was to go work out, which is perfectly fine, but that's when the two boys were napping, and that's when Paul was home. So it's like, and then as soon as they woke up and she got back home, then he left again. But they were both self-employed. So it's like, why are you spending so much time away from home when y'all have the same job? It's weird.
Just out playing pickleball all the time.
All day, every day. I don't know how we survive. Stupid. Yeah, I don't care what the haters have to say. Nothing that they say is literally ever accurate, so that's annoying. But as far as the jealousy thing goes, I think it's like yes, I said that, and it wasn't even like I was jealous that he was out playing pickleball. It was that there was some girls there, and that caught me off guard. I was very like unaware that there were going to be some women at this house that he was going to play at, which is
this is a whole nother layer.
I'm totally fine with Paul playing pickleball with other women, but again, I was about to start my period.
Sorry.
I'm very postpartum still, so it just like really caught me off guard, and there was whatever, so I was just like
And for context, I was invited by one of the better local guys, and I'm trying to get in with these guys and play more competitive at the highest level locally, and I'm invited to go play at his house, and I go, and Morgan realizes that it wasn't just 4 guys, it was some good pickleball ladies there as well. So that's in pickleball at the professional level, what guys and girls will often do is they'll go to a tournament, they'll play men's doubles or women's doubles, and then they'll play mixed doubles. Mixed doubles is a very big part of this. Yeah. And Morgan and I we've been having to have these conversations of what is that going to look like. It's like these are just real conversations that you got to think about and you got to have. So yeah. How you doing since then, baby?
Fine. I mean, Paul has done a very good job in my postpartum world of just like encouraging me and making me feel like I'm his lady and I'm beautiful.
I'm very happy to hear.
And because I feel like any of you ladies out there who have been postpartum before kind of can relate to just whether your husband's out playing pickleball with other women or just like goes to work and there are other women there. Like, I don't know, I'm not a jealous person at all. I do not like get concerned, and Paul and I are very like just wise and careful with our boundaries with the opposite sex anyways to begin with, but
I'm like Billy Graham on steroids.
Okay, well,
I am Mike Pence times 100.
I don't know about that, but sure.
I'm kidding, but we are careful.
Yeah, and so like when I'm postpartum, I tend to like have just anxiety and fears about my kids, about my husband, about life in general, literally everything. And it's just a very much a postpartum side effect, symptom, whatever, that I just have to work through and go to therapy and pray on. And one of them is just like I start to get like so scared that like my body is so different than what it once was. Is my husband still gonna love me? Not because Paul has ever given me a reason to think that he doesn't. Like I said, he has done such a good job of making me feel very beautiful. It's just like a personal thing that I've had to work through. So,
well, and also whether the postpartum stuff comes into play or not, like you're definitely not alone. And I'm sure lots of, whether it's pickleball or other sports, but specifically pickleball, there's been a lot of married couples in your shoes.
It's so silly because their form of like this is raw, this is real, this is like real conversation, is more of exposing their immaturity, I feel like. Now, do I think it is all postpartum and hormonal? No. I think it is her her actual, I mean, what can it have a role, play a role in it? Sure, possibly. But I think it's actually like the way that she feels, regardless if she just had a kid or not.
The guy trying to play pro or the girl, and them having to have lots of conversations like this.
Yeah.
So we'll continue to communicate as things progress. But it's part.
No, normal couples understand and are aware that in most sports, in all sports, there are opposite sex who also play that sport. Now, it would be different, I feel like, if you went to somebody's house and they had a whole bunch of women there who like weren't playing, or if these girls were playing, they were just part of like a pickup game of freaking basketball, right? Like, everywhere you go, are you assuming that it's just the same sex people there? I understand the respect factor of going somewhere and you're like, oh, there are single people here, like I need to, be aware of the boundaries that I, I won't have conversations with them. I won't, I mean, not like completely avoiding, but you don't want to open yourself up to anything that could look weird or be weird or whatever. But I would just assume that these women could also have been very married and they just want to be better at pickleball. But just because they're women, it's like, why are you there? Why are you around other women? Like, again, their conversations just kind of exposes them as like, it's kind of petty, it's kind of immature, but here we are.
Just so there hasn't been at this point too much of like, I want to go play pickleball and my husband is out getting to play pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, again, Paul also just does a good job of like, babe, if you want to go out tonight and go play pickleball, go for it. I'll stay with the boys and you go out. So I'm very thankful for that. So the opportunities for me to play pickleball are still there. Are they a lot less? Yes, because I'm in a season of I have a newborn baby and a toddler, and it is my role and responsibility to be their mother, and like I take that very seriously. So it's not my time to go pro in pickleball right now. That's okay.
Well, I appreciate.
Nor will I probably ever go pro in pickleball. So.
Who knows, though? Who knows? Obviously, I very much appreciate hearing the way you answered those questions. The haters and trolls coming at us.
I appreciate the way you answered those questions because it made me look really good. That's what he meant.
And like, he's not providing.
Okay.
Well, hold on. He's not providing. I appreciate your zeal. Not providing from his family, but he's instead just going out and playing hours of pickleball. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be going out and investing the time into this if I didn't think it was going to be profitable. And we are kind of given this like time frames to see where am I, where is the skill progression, even the business side of it in 6 months. Because if 2 years from now I'm just playing, which granted when I say playing, it's very intentional, playing, training, drilling, hours of drilling, not super glamorous or fun. It's not the same as just going out and having fun casual games of pickleball. Mm-hmm. But the trolls are not gonna care about that.
They ain't never picked up a pickleball paddle in their life.
But it is very much an intentional thing, with goals being it.
Yeah, and I don't want to, because it's silly. I mean, doing it as a hobby for just like funsies, sure, but I'm not gonna pick up a paddle for that because it's silly. Okay.
Does produce financial stability.
Oh, and also, as I said in the last video, the prior video, they continue, mostly Paul, I think, continues to pivot, not in a sense of my passion has changed, but pivoting in a sense of what is going to be more profitable. And this proves my assumption, because they were doing the culture stuff. They started with talking about sex and intimacy in Christian couples, and then they started the 24 hours with that did okay. and then they stopped doing that, and now they're family vlogging, because I'm going to assume they're looking at other Christian influencers and seeing that their numbers have spiked, their views have spiked, and subscribers, and therefore money. And now Pickleball, he sees that as another profitable thing to do. In his brain, I would imagine he's like, oh, well, I'm just thinking about another stream of income. No, that's not like your YouTube channel is not in my opinion, this is where like his perspective, I think it is, not being as profitable and successful as they planned it to be. So now they continue to change their content, not to suit them, which changing your content, changing your niche and stuff, that is not a bad thing. Pivoting in a business is very important. I do not think they are doing it for other people that, no, wait, let me see. They're not doing it because their passions have changed. They're doing it because sex and intimacy are the thing that people want to listen to, or like, you know, it's a hot topic that views are going to go up, and 24 hours with, you know, that's going to interviewing people, views are going to go up. So I don't think they're doing it in a sense of our passions have changed, we want to talk about this. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. That's what I think anyway.
Because if you go pro at anything, many things, if you get to that highest level, there is financial opportunities, and that's what we're looking towards.
Yeah, I guess my question to the haters is, like, if we were to have announced, like, Paul's going back to college to get his PhD and blah, 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 would they be mad about that? Like, why is Paul spending all those hours at the library? How dare he? Like,
well, and that's
so, yeah.
To that point, and also, like...
That was a great point that I just gave.
Okay.
No, it's not a great point. No, that was so stupid. Why would that be a great point? No, because you are paying the university for the degree, right? You're going to the classes, you're passing the tests, and then you earn that. Like, it is more, percentage-wise, it's going to be more likely you're getting your PhD versus becoming a professional at a sport. There are several variations, well, not variations, but several things that you have to jump through, you know, hoops to jump through to be a professional athlete. It's an anomaly. You can be the hardest worker in the room. You can be the best at your high school, the best in the town of Lexington, but that doesn't mean you're professional worthy. You can beat that paddle up against a freaking brick wall, whatever. You can train for hours a day. It does not mean that you are going to be a professional, okay? Not the same as you studying your ass off and taking tests that you're gonna pass, and then you walk on stage and get your PhD. Are they both hard work? Yeah, but you're most likely going to get your degree versus the ratio is, and the percentage of you getting your degree is going to be more so than if you're trained to be a professional athlete. Like, that's not equal. That's not the same.
Great point. It's very, very good. But also, if it was like Paul's going pro, or he's on the road to go pro in basketball, like, do any of the haters, or people that maybe aren't haters but they're just like, is this a good idea? Would they look at that and be like, oh, that's not providing for your family if you're making a living as a professional basketball player, football player, baseball player? So they're just writing all that off?
Yeah, you shouldn't be having.
Yeah, because you're in your 30s and you're trying to be professional. Like, go hard for your goals, man. But that's what they're saying, is the amount of time you have to put in Dude, Arnold Schwarzenegger spent 8 hours in the gym working out. Please don't do this. But working out in the gym 8 hours every day to be professional, okay? You are not just, oh, I'm gonna train for 2.5 hours. 5 days a week to be professional. That's not it. You are having to sacrifice days. You are having to sacrifice your relationships. You're having to sacrifice a lot of things to be professional. So, in any sense of the word, if you're trying to be professional literally at anything else, it's still the same. Pickleball is just silly, right? Being a professional at pickleball is just silly, and that's my opinion. You cannot change my opinion on pickleball. Even if you're like, because he played soccer when he was a teenager, I guess. But even if he was like, right now, I'm going to try to be a professional soccer player, still, everybody, I feel like, would have the same opinion of, okay, so how are you helping Morgan? Like, how are we doing this? Which, again, like, I don't want to say again because I haven't made this point, but it's also none of our business how they're making money. It's none of our business how they're making ends meet, if they're spending time together. None of our business. However, we can have an opinion on it because they're putting it out on the internet. That's all.
Fun day.
You shouldn't be having fun, so they would look at it all as fun. Okay, no, that's good for me to hear. Babe, another question I had for you. Do you struggle with deep doubts deep or not deep, that this is kind of a fool's journey, and at the end of the day, I'm not cut out to be a professional athlete, and so all this work is going to be for nothing. Is that too much? Is that too putting you on the spot?
Useless.
Is that putting you too much on the spot?
No.
You can be real with us.
No, I don't have a single doubt in my mind that Paul's gonna go pro in pickleball. I just know this guy, and if he puts his mind to something, he's gonna make it happen. And like, yeah, so.
You, to be honest, have more confidence even than I do. Seriously. But that is kind of what I need right now. Like, you're kind of a godsend.
Thank you.
Because I every few days doubts will come into my mind, and they'll try to pop me one in the chin, and I gotta weather it, and you help me weather those.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried. You know, could it maybe take like longer than our timeline or than we hope? Not, which I guess we kind of have a timeline, but not that much. Yeah, we do. But like, I think it maybe could take a little longer than we thought, but maybe not. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the timeline that we have in our minds is how it happens. I don't know.
Well, to just let you guys in on the timeline, and I will say I shared the timeline with someone who's very good at pickleball, and they kind of were like, that's going to be tough.
Okay.
But the timeline is, so I started drilling very intensely a little over a month ago. And at that point I said, in 6 months, I want to be competing in my first tournament where I'm playing through qualifiers, meaning I'm playing well enough that I advance through qualifiers into the main draw, which is playing with the best players in the world and trying to win a cash prize and so forth. So Morgan, another question I had for you.
Cash money.
Another question I had for you. Something happened at the pickleball courts yesterday.
Dude, I told y'all it was money related. Just trying to find another form of, I don't even say like stream of income, but only doing it because of money, essentially.
Day before, where I offended another person that was out there because I wouldn't come and play with them. The person was kind of like, we need somebody, and you're just sitting there, come play. And then they literally called, they said to someone else, that guy's a pickleball snob. And in all fairness, my mind was very locked in. I'm only able to be out there each day for a certain amount of time, so I'm trying to be very intentional with that time. I'm not out there for rec play or just to jump in random games. I'm trying to get in very high level games, and I'm trying to drill, and that's the long and short of it. So some people are going to maybe see me or perceive me as, I guess, kind of cold, pickleball snob. And my question to you, because I am kind of having to cut out some things in my life because so much of my focus is pickleball, are you seeing me change? Is this process of trying to become a professional athlete changing me, and does that concern you at all?
Dude, this is so stupid. And this is like this still frame is exact representation of, she's always cackling, she's always thinking things are so silly, and he's just like, oh, but really, be serious. You're not, like, they're... Okay. I am comparing bodybuilding to pickleball right now. You are not changing your nutrition. You can fuel your body as much as you can / need to in order to be the, pickleball player. This question would make sense if he was trying to bulk, because look at him. If he was trying to bulk to be a competitor of some kind, a bodybuilding, strongman, whatever, and there was nutrition involved, because once your nutrition is kind of fudged with, that's when you can, I don't want to say like become a different person, but it really like f's with your brain a little bit. It can. So the way that he's talking, like, I just don't think he could do anything more intense than pickleball. Like, that's such a funny sentence to say, but I cannot see pickleball being that freaking, like, intense in your day. You're only training for 2.5 hours. I am at the gym for 2.5 hours, and I'm not trying to go pro. Would it be cool if it just, like, happened? Like, duh. But, like, that's not my goal. But I'm also at the gym for about that time just to get a workout, just to get my specific workout in, and he's there training pro. You know what I'm saying? Like, 6 months, 2.5 hours a day. That's silly.
That's funny that you told that story to ask that question.
That was a good lead up, right? Like, didn't it make sense to tell that story and leading up to that question?
Maybe, I don't know. I think you are changing, but I think it's for the better, honestly. I think you've always been a disciplined guy, but like now he's waking up way earlier and like you're being more intentional. Again, not that you weren't intentional, but you're being even more intentional with your time, like with when you're with us, when you're with Luca, when you're with Judah, like that you're being intentional with them, and then you're out on the courts and you're intentional with that time, and you're intentional with your Bible time.
Also, with the whole snob thing, is it shocking? Is it shocking that somebody would call him a pickleball snob? So which is such a stupid thing to say, but my question is, if somebody was asking him like to come play, like you're just sitting there, that would be a good time to be like, hey man, I'm really intentional with my time, as Morgan is saying, and I really want to train this way. Like, I don't have that much time. Like, thank you for offering, but no, man. I think that person would take the rejection a little easier than if he was like, either ignored that person or was like, no thanks. And they're like, okay, like what? Like, why? Like, you're just sitting there and you're here to play. Like, come play with us, man. Like, we're open to you coming to play with us. And I wonder what that exchange was, because surely it wasn't just him saying, hey man, thanks for asking, but I have to do like X, Y, and Z before I get home, or I'm here like to train with my coach. I don't want to exert myself too much to where I can't give my all in my training. Like, I wonder what that exchange was, because I could see him holding up the title of a pickleball snob.
Yeah, so I think you're changing for the best.
Praise God.
Everyone's gonna think that I'm just like lying through my teeth over here because I've been so positive.
You've been incredibly positive. Give us a negative. Give us a negative of all this.
All we do is talk about.
Oh, negative. My kids. Because that's all that she can talk about. The negativity is her children.
Okay, is that a negative? No, seriously, because so far you've been incredibly positive, and it makes me very happy to hear. But surely, if not now, 3 months from now, something is going to come up on your end. You guys have seen the Rocky movies. You guys have seen these iconic sports movies. It almost inevitably, there's that moment where the wife or husband, but we'll say the wife, is observing what the husband is going through to get to the highest level, and there is a significant rub or significant tension, and oftentimes
because in those movies, the man is getting his ass beat. He's getting his head beat in. And it's like, hey, honey, I do not want you to do this anymore because you are about to quite literally die in front of my eyes. You cannot compare Rocky to pickleball. Oh my God.
In the movie, the wife comes around and it's like, I totally support you, go get him, babe. But maybe not always. But there is that moment of tension.
Or she leaves him. I wasn't saying that was going to happen to us.
But no, do you, in the back of your mind, do you see something that could be that for us? And I'm not trying to bring negativity into it if there doesn't need to be. I'm just curious.
Well, I've told Paul from the beginning, like, family is still, you know, well, obviously God, but then family is your number one priority. And so I understand that there's going to be sacrifices in times that, like, you know, you can't be with the boys in the morning because you got to go drill or whatever, you have a tournament. Like, I get that, just like for any man's job, like, you have to make sacrifices. And this is even like more in a lot of ways than just a job, because you're literally trying to become one of the best in the world. So it's no easy feat to become one of the greats. I get that there are going to be sacrifices, but I still am like, you're going to honor the Lord in this, and by honoring the Lord in this is you keep your family still as your number one priority, and then pickleball, the Lord, then family. So that's been our, like, we haven't had like that many conversations about it, but I've just made that clear of like, I fully support this as long as I feel like you're still pouring into your family, which he is. So but yeah, I don't know, I'm just a positive Polly over here. You know.
Oh, you don't think too hard about it. All right.
Oh, no,
Well, guys.
No, I was just gonna say, my good friend and I were talking, and I was just telling her about, like, I get messages all the time on Instagram from people being like, why is your husband out playing pickleball? He should be home helping you take care of the kids. Like, I know you're in an unhappy marriage. Get out of there, blah, blah, blah.
It's crazy that they know that.
Yeah, it's wild that they know that. and Maddie was like, and my friend was like, you know, it's interesting because, Morgan, like, I really do think that you're maybe the most supportive wife that I've ever met in the world. And she's like, there are not many wives out there that are as supportive as you are. And so I think, like, a lot of people see how supportive you are and think to themselves, like, there's no way this is real. And she's like, but it is real. So they just need to get over it.
Wow. Well, like I said at the beginning, this would be a very different journey if I didn't have the support of my wife. Probably wouldn't be happening. And almost for sure would not be happening.
Definitely not.
I think he wants his life to be like a movie. And he wants the ending to be like him crying and I just couldn't have become a pickleball champion professional without my supporting. But like, at the end of the day, dude, it's still pickleball. At the end of the day, it's pickleball, and it's silly, and that is my opinion, and that is the hill I will die on. It's silly. Okay, I'm going to cut this video right here because they're just going to the whole entire time. So y'all let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. We have one more video of this little snarking series, and so hold out for that one, because the next video that's coming up, evidently from what I've read for the Reddit, their snark page was that they got into a little bickering fight like right before he pressed record, and you can see it all over Morgan's face, and I'm just really curious on what is going on. Okay, I do appreciate y'all so very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.